2 minutes till broadcast. One minute till broadcast. Seconds till broadcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome into a radio program starting momentarily. Here we go. We got a lot to talk about to kick off your week. It is a Monday. Make sure to like it out, share it out, leave that comment, break the algorithm. Let's do this thing. Kick off your week. Hang tight. Here we go.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin transmission.
Broadcasting from the heart of the nation, the next generation in conservative talk radio. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Why, yes, it is. What is up, my friends? Welcome into it. It is a Monday, the greatest day of the week. We are setting that tone. Gonna carpe diem all over the place. That's what we do on this program each and every day. Welcome into it. As usual, it is the Voice of Reason. My name's Andy Hooser, broadcasting out of the heart of the nation in Wichita, Kansas, on our flagship radio station. But we are all over the country with so many great radio affiliates doing our thing.
Do it live!
Like we do every single day here on this program. And right out of the gate, man, want to welcome a brand new affiliate for the program today. Apparently, that's our new affiliate announcement. Want to welcome aboard Radio Market number 3. The great AM 1410, AM WRMN, the talk of the town in Fox River Valley in the Chicago area. What is up, Chicago? We love you guys there. We are ready to transform Chicago into a right-wing leaning, red-blooded American good old boys type of area. Is that going to happen? Well, anyway, we're going to try. We're going to try nonetheless. Welcome aboard. Great to have you. The talk of the town, 1410 AM WRMN, again in Chicago in that Fox River Valley area. Picking us up weeknights at 8 p.m. every single night. The weekend program coming soon. Cannot wait to be on there as well, but really excited to have you on board. We have a lot of fun. If you've never heard of this program, then you are in for a treat. The fastest hour of conservatism on the radio, which is what we do here each and every day here on the show. If you want more information, you can find our website at HooserReason.com, HOOSER Reason.com. Our social media, which is at Hooser Reason with the same handle. And if you want the podcast of the show during our weekday show, weekend show, everything else that we do, just find it on any of your favorite podcasting sites at The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. All right, don't want to waste any time. We have a lot to talk about. Recap from the weekend, some news coming out of Congress on what Donald Trump may or may not be able to do, and a heck of a lot more. Plus, the foreign policy. Could we see a regime change in the nation of Iran with those protests and riots and uprisings going on, the revolution happening in Iran? We'll get to all that in just a bit. But before we do,
what's trending today?
As you know, MAHA, the Make America Healthy Again movement, one of our favorite topics to talk about on this show, trying to reform the nation, get ourselves back into a state of health after a nation of being the most obese nation on the face of the earth, the number one most amount of heart disease on the face of the earth, and so many other issues. We're working on it. We're moving in the right direction, but that leads to the flu cases right now. I don't know if you've been paying attention to this. Flu cases in the nation really up compared to what, 20, 30 years ago? They say in total, we looked it up, I don't know, a few days ago from the CDC, just over 11 million cases of the flu right now. Why are we seeing so many cases? What the heck are these superbugs doing out there? And more. That's where we bring in our first guest on the program.
What's trending today?
That's right. Really happy to have on the program Dr. Holly Lucille. Doctor, how are you, my friend?
Hey, bud, thanks so much. I'm great. It's really good to be here.
Yeah, appreciate you jumping on here. First and foremost, we have just over 11 million cases of the flu. We had this super variant, I don't know, virus K or whatever they're calling it. Why in the world are we seeing so many flu cases this year? This is kind of wild.
Well, I think what's really important is we have to understand this one thing, right? And I've had the saying for a long time, we have to increase the resistance of the host. We're hosting these little viral bugs, right? Whether it's bacteria, virus. I mean, look, if you even take the microphone that you're talking into, you just swab it and you put it on a Petri dish, stuff is going to grow out because we live amongst all of them. But what do we have? An incredible immune system. Yeah. However, a lot has changed in our environment. We're asking our immune systems to operate in this environment that it's like we're dealing with higher baseline stress, less consistent sleep, more time indoors with the recycled air, and a higher day-to-day load on our inflammatory inputs from ultra-processed food, which I know the MAHA movement is trying to turn around, alcohol, and other environmental exposures. And this is why I am seeing this. You know, I kind of want to say that most people aren't weaker, they're just more depleted. Stress, poor sleep, indoor air, and inflammation, like I said, it lowers our baseline resilience.
It's a really great point. I like how you put that we're not weak, we're just depleted, because we hear about now, and we had this conversation about vaccines, non-vaccines. We just changed with the MAHA movement again, getting rid of the childhood vaccine schedule, and one of the things we're removing from infants and from young adults, or at least kids now, is the flu vaccine is a regular mandatory type of shot, which caused a lot of controversy and a lot of conversation. I'm one where I got to be honest, I've never gotten a flu shot in my entire life. I like the idea of having my natural immune system being able to fight things off naturally in a biological world. But you bring up a really great point, is that we're so depleted by working 14, 15, 16 hours a day. We have the recycled air. We don't have the nutrients coming into our body with what we eat. We don't probably take as many supplements as we probably should. That allows us to be more susceptible to these illnesses, doesn't it?
100%. We need to increase the resistance of the host, period.
Mm-hmm. How do we do that? And with these, we can get into the super strains and these super bugs in just a minute, but what can we do if we are working these long hours? If we do have a lot of stress in our life, obviously maybe it's hopefully a New Year's resolution for some to fix some of that stuff, but what can we do to try and build ourselves up to not be as weak as what we have been?
You know, it's a great question, and I think people already know the answer. I mean, seriously, it's the fundamentals, it's the foundation. You know, you think of immunity like a battery. Stress and poor sleep drain it, and the environmental exposure then adds background inflammation. So we focus on ourselves. We actually start to moderate our stress as much as possible. I know that is like easier said than done sometimes. Sleep, it's just a non-negotiable, especially during cold and flu season. We already know it's coming. Do you know how many times I've been doing this for 25, 30 years that I've been on shows like this? And I say the same thing over and over again. Prevention is the cure. We know it's coming. We've got to prepare. Yeah. That is extremely important. And I think what we can do, too, is we can decrease the amount of oxidative stress in our cells that actually run everything, including our immune system. Because when it's high, immune signaling and recovery tends to slow down.
How much sleep are you supposed to get? I've heard the typical guesstimated guidelines between 7 to 8 hours. I have people, my general manager here at the radio studios, for some reason, I don't know how he does it. He lays down for like 3 to 4 hours and then he's up and ready to go again. I know Donald Trump does the same thing. He's never sleeping, always on the X or on the social media. I don't get that, because for me, I like my 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and I don't function unless I get that. So everybody's different, but what are the recommended guidelines to make sure you are staying healthy?
7 to 9 hours are the recommended guidelines. Now, I will say that with a caveat, and the caveat is certainly it all depends on who you are. You know, we always talk about whole person health, and we talk about treating the individual. Now, I used to have a reserve as a younger person where I could kind of like, you know, get away with like 4 or 5 hours like, you know, some other people. Not anymore. You know, I'll be, I think, 60 this month, and to be honest with you, listen, sleep is where you rest, relax, and repair. It is where human growth hormone is made. It is where it's where tissue repair happens. It is when you not get to sleep, but you stay asleep and you cycle through all 4 stages of sleep is where you get the health benefits of this really creepy thing that we do, which is lay pretty much unconscious, usually by somebody else, which is weird to me. But I do believe that that's where a lot of healing and our days and our immune system really start the night before. But again, lots of things go into this. Prevention is the cure, helping you increase your resilience and decrease duration and severity if you do happen to get sick.
Yeah, it's a really great point. We're talking with Dr. Holly Lucille. She is a doctor, obviously, also a host of the Mindful Medicine podcast, which you can go and check out some of that. What are some of the main things, main minerals, main whatever that we are deficient in because maybe we're not getting the right nutrients in the food that we eat, whether it's because of our diet, whether it's just because it's not in the soil any longer when we try to grow our food? We've heard about deficiencies in magnesium, and I've heard that like 80% of the population's deficient in magnesium. During the COVID pandemic, we talked about deficiencies in vitamin D3 that's supposed to actually build up your immune system in your lungs, which I would think would be a relatively prevalent nutrient to have during a time when there was a virus that was attacking lungs. But primarily, if we are taking supplements, if we are trying to focus on health this year, what should we focus on to replenish our bodies with?
It's a great question, and you said the 2 biggest ones, and they're still true to the date. The most deficient mineral in our country is magnesium. The most deficient vitamin, even though it's a hormone, and that's another show that we can talk about for 4 hours, is vitamin D, all right? Both of those are extremely important for us, and yes, by and large, a lot of people are deficient. One of the things that I've actually been kind of shifting to, obviously a lot of people take pill supplements, right? And as you said, during the COVID pandemic, you could go online and just see the top 3. You could see zinc, you could see vitamin D3, you could see elderberry. Those are all great, but one of the things that I've not been talking about, and it's not a pill, it's a packet. It is fermented papaya. And it's in a supplement called Immunage, IMMUNAGE, and it does exactly what it says it is. It's immune modulation, it's immune support, and it's also anti-aging. This particular, I got to tell you, I ran into this product over 20 years ago. I wrote an article about it, and the folks from France who now have this product because it's from Japan, they called me and was like, hey, you know more about this product. Like, let's talk about it. And it's coming into the United States. It's amazing. It has over 30 clinical studies on its efficacy, but it's incredible for the immune system. And to be honest with you, it's the one thing that I do on a daily basis. And I'm going to knock on wood, I have not yet been taken down by any cold, virus, flu, you name it this year, and I'm super happy.
That's pretty incredible. I was not aware of that one, so I'm going to have to do some looking into that for sure as well. Doctor, we have just a couple minutes left before we have to wrap up, but I have to ask you, the super bugs that we hear out there, this new strain K for the flu, which my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of the flu vaccines, they guesstimate what strain is going to be prevalent that year. They make the vaccine that's targeted towards that one, and then when they miss it, they're like, sorry, but still take it because that might lower some of the symptoms for you. For the super bugs that we're seeing in this strain K, where do these super bugs come from? Because I'm thinking that the more vaccines that we make, the more that these things manipulate themselves and alter themselves in order to become super bugs. Is that accurate?
You're a radio host, but now you are like I think a bona fide researcher because yes, it's exactly what happens. It's kind of like if you think about it, overuse of antibiotics, you create super bugs in that way. Overuse of vaccines, and you're right, they try to get it right, and guess what? Oops, sorry, the strain was off a little bit, and now we've got this. And these things, they're living organisms. They're smart. They've got brains of their own. They duck, they weave, they mutate, and they become super bugs and then sometimes super resistant. So the thing we can do is don't look out that way. Look inside. Get yourself ready. Increase the resistance of the host. Make sure you've got that sleep, hydration, movement. And if you haven't heard of it, it's Immunage at immunage.us. You got to take a look at it. It's brand new. It's not another pill. It's just a packet, and it's amazing because it's clinically studied, and I stand by it.
I love it. That's really great. About 30 seconds left here, Holly. Are you optimistic about the direction that we are going right now, especially with the MAHA movement, the changing of what could be in our food with the dyes, with the chemicals, the preservatives in there? Are we moving in the right direction?
We are moving in the right direction, and people just need to pay attention. to what is going on and what is being said, because we've got somebody in there that actually knows that this is what needs to happen and this is how we can turn it around. So yes, absolutely, 100%, we're moving in the right direction. Making
it happen. Dr. Holly Lucille, we appreciate it very much, my friend. Happy New Year to you. We're going in the right direction, especially with the new food pyramid. We got to get you back on and do this again real soon, my friend.
Okay, thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you betcha. Appreciate it very much, Dr. Holly Lucille. Great conversation. I want to do that again with her here soon and talk about, as we continue on with the MAHA movement, could we see? Could we see now the ending of some of the pharmaceutical advertisements and vaccine advertisements and some of the others that could change the narrative, or at least the conversation in society about where we're going right now with the MAHA movement? We'll do some more of that when we come back around the corner. Plus, apparently a nurses' strike in New York. What could that do to the healthcare industry, especially when Zohran Mamdani's looking for free health care and more? We'll do some of that and more for a Monday for your Voice of Reason. We got lots to get to. Stay here.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
When America builds, the world follows. Our energy powered the 20th century. We've set the standard for generations, and we never waited for permission. But now, we're being held back. Outdated rules, endless delays. Without permitting reform, Washington's red tape is slowing us down while other nations race ahead. It doesn't have to be this way. We can clear the way for energy that's affordable, reliable, and built right here. Because what's built here is felt here. Lower costs, more jobs, stronger communities. That's what permitting reform makes possible. Energy didn't just shape our country, it powered the American dream. And with our innovation, we can lead the 21st century. Congress has a choice. Build America's energy future or risk falling behind. Tell Congress, pass permitting reform now.
Miss any part of the show? Well, don't worry. Now's your chance to go find the podcast and listen to as much of the Voice of Reason as you'd like. As the show continues to grow all across the nation with great radio affiliates, we also continue to grow as one of the top conservative podcasts, ranked 5th on the MillionPodcast.com Best 50 Conservative Leadership Podcasts in the nation, and number 1 on FeedSpot.com's 30 Best Conservative Talk Shows in the country. The show continues to grow each and every day. Just find us on any of your favorite podcasting sites at The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. Hey, did you know that you can have multiple different networks on one single smartphone? Well, with Patriot Mobile, you can. It's time for you to sign up for the Patriot Mobile primary phone plan with plans as low as $15 a month, where you can have 2 numbers and 2 networks on one single phone. And right now, if you sign up using the promo code REASON, you can get an entire month absolutely free. It's the Patriot Mobile One plan. 1 phone, 2 numbers, and 2 networks. And it's all at patriotmobile.com/reason. Again, patriotmobile.com, and use the promo code REASON.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did 2 guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at AFP, we offer solutions that tackle the most critical challenges facing our country, so there's nothing standing in the way of America's next breakthrough. Because what we build today doesn't just shape the future, it defines it. How will you be defined? Take your first step today with Americans for Prosperity.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
When reason meets radio. This is the voice of reason with Andy Hooser.
Yeah, and it's great to have you back here for a Monday, setting that tone. Carpe Diemisms all over the place here for the program. Thanks again to Dr. Holly Lucille on the program. Great conversations. We talk about flu season. Stay healthy out there. Be prepared for whatever strain may be out, and the super bugs that are created because of over-vaccination. I know, very controversial.
Say what?
And probably just kicked us off of YouTube, but by golly, I don't care. We're going to talk about it in any way that we darn well want to. Hey, by the way, I think that's a perfect time as we talk about some of the MAHA movement and the health movement on a brand new partner here on the program. Yeah. And I want to tell you about Lean, because as you are going through your New Year's resolution, maybe trying to lose some weight, get back in shape, that Lean is the way to go. Not some of the fad diets that are like juice cleanses or cabbage soup diets. Has anybody really done that? A cabbage soup diet? I don't know about that one. Raw food diets and more. The doctors call it weight cycling, and a lot of Americans do it. It's when you lose 10 pounds or so, but then you turn around and put the weight right back on, plus maybe a couple bit more. It's really tough on your body, and it's probably very frustrating when that happens with that cycle back and forth. The bottom line is most people need help losing weight, and here's a great way to do it. Our friends over at the non-prescription Lean was created by doctors. It's an oral supplement, not an injection like the GLP-1s, and the science is really impressive. It helps maintain healthy blood sugar, it helps control your appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting the fat into energy, and burning the fat keeps the weight off. Here's the thing. I have been taking Lean since the beginning of the year. We knew this campaign was coming up. We knew the partnership was happening, and I started taking it right on January 1st. And like a week and a half that we've been doing this, I'm down like 4 pounds. That's my personal endorsement. It's awesome. I love it. If you want to lose weight meaningfully at a healthy pace and make sure to keep it off, add Lean to your diet and exercise lifestyle. And right now for the show, with my radio program and my listenership, you can get 20% off when you enter the code REASON at the website takelean.com. That's promo code REASON at takelean.com. Go and check out Lean. Let's do this health journey together with your New Year's resolution right here on The Voice of Reason. All right, speaking of the health movement right now, there's a headline from the New York Times where if you are in the New York area, we already knew it was going to be difficult for you getting some health care because of, Mom Donnie and some of the socialist policies he's trying to implement. While they defend places like Venezuela and Cuba on the great health care they have, which is why people are leaving it at such a record pace, but it doesn't matter that's the socialist policies that they want. 15,000 nurses officially went on strike today.
Say what?
As according to the New York Times, 15,000 nurses went on strike Monday at some different New York City's top hospitals, setting the stage for what could be one of the biggest labor showdowns in the city's healthcare industry in decades. This is where socialism has come into play. It has emboldened the individuals that think that we need, and not to say we're not wanting to take care of nurses, but wanting to embolden people to ask for astronomical and completely outlandish demands like we've seen in other industries so far. According to the union that's representing the nurses, they say that the strike is necessary to force hospitals to ensure minimum staffing ratios so that nurses aren't overwhelmed with too many patients. They're also asking for higher wages and more security at hospitals to reduce violent episodes and even shootings. Look, if you're having a shooting at a hospital, you have a whole different problem, and I'm really all for more security there, which is kind of insane. Sounds like we need also mental health awareness on that front too. But I know that there has been a staffing shortage of nurses really since the pandemic when this came to light. Why? Many hospitals across the nation got rid of nurses who refused to get the COVID-19 jab. And if that's the case, then they're still battling the shortage. And it's been going on for 4, 5, 6 years now. That's been an ongoing conversation. And they feel this is the time to do it. So if you're in New York, this is maybe a reminder that maybe taking your health back into your own hands, doing it without relying on the hospitals, without relying on the doctor's offices to do it for you, now's the opportunity. Use the MAHA movement. Ride that wave, baby. Make it your own personal health motive to take care of yourself and not rely on this healthcare industry that we may be seeing some major transformations happening relatively soon. Lots more coming up for a Monday. Stay here.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left finds new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back. And that's where we can help. Head to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can find our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Let us know your thoughts on current events with different surveys and chat rooms. And keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Plus, when you head to the website, you can always get great deals and different offers from all of our great radio partners. Finally, if you want more of the show, you can find our podcasts with all of our great episodes and your favorite guests. And make sure to check out the latest Voice of Reason infomercials and maybe some other special content. And it's all because of you being part of the Hoosier-holic family. Let's continue to fight for conservative common sense principles together by going to HooserReason.com. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did two guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at AFP, we offer solutions that tackle the most critical challenges facing our country, so there's nothing standing in the way of America's next breakthrough. Because what we build today doesn't just shape the future, it defines it. How will you be defined? Take your first step today with Americans for Prosperity.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever. Every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? Our country's greatest breakthroughs were born from bold ideas and the ability to take one small step forward. At Americans for Prosperity, freedom and opportunity find their defenders. Because our country's next giant leap is just around the corner. Are you ready to step up?
Hey, the live show may be almost over today, but it doesn't have to be for you. As always, enjoy the Voice of Reason with our daily podcast by finding the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser on any of your favorite podcasting sites. Just find us, subscribe, have it automatically downloaded, and listen at your convenience whenever you want to bring some more reason into your day. And a lot of people are doing it. Also, you can always find the video of the show, along with articles, additional commentary, and maybe a few sarcastic remarks by following us on our social media. Stay up to date with everything going on with the show, including upcoming guests, breaking news stories, interesting articles, and maybe some memes. Help us in the ongoing battle with censorship and shadow banning from social media by following us on the social media at Hoosier Reason on all of our social media sites. For all these social media links, podcast links, contact information, or just general information of the show, go to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can listen live every day, read our latest monthly blog, find our radio affiliate list, or even listen to our latest infomercials and special content. Plus, you can always reach out to the program by sending me a message on social media, emailing us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com, or sending an email through our website at HooserReason.com. Whether it's content on the show, whether it's a guest that you've liked or disliked, or whether you want to disagree with me, and disagreement's always appreciated. While you're there, make sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Each month, you'll get the latest update on the show, updates from the Hooser Media Network, and our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Finally, if you want to help support the show, become a member of our Patreon site and help us fight for the cause of truth, reason, and common sense every day, and get more of the same by becoming the ultimate Hoosier-holic. Get additional interviews that sometimes we don't always get to air on the radio. Hear our special segments or even our infomercials before anyone else, and have a chance to chat with other great Hoosier-holics from all over. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, you're not only helping the fight for conservative values, you're helping us get more content and information out through the Hooser Media Network. Find out more information online at HooserReason.com. Lastly, follow and support all of our partners with the show. The Voice of Reason has been growing more and more every year, and it's because of so many great partners helping us get the message out to you. From show partners to local radio affiliates in your area to streaming sites, podcasting sites, and more. We have so many supporters and listeners now than ever before, and we want to thank you. It's time to bring back common sense, and we do it right here every day with the Voice of Reason.
Truth, reason, and common sense. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
All right, welcome back into the program. Great to have you today for a Monday, setting that tone, doing the thing, trying to cram that 10 pounds of reason into that 5-pound bag, trying to rebrand the millennial generation, one radio listener at a time all over the country, including our brand new affiliate, WRMN, 1410 AM, the talk of the town, and Fox River Valley in the Chicago area. Great to have you with us. By the way, for those that may not know, happy belated, or I guess happy birthday to the late and great Rush Limbaugh. Today would have been his birthday if he were still around, and rest in peace, Rush Limbaugh, the icon, the great, the one that started the talk radio industry all the way back when. I think there's a sign there. He started his syndication in 1988. I was born in 1988. I think there's something there. I think there's something there. You know what? That's what I'm sticking with, and I'm going with it. It's totally all right. But happy birthday to the late and great Rush Limbaugh, the guy that started all of this. We appreciate everything that he's done for the industry. We love you, Rush Limbaugh. Hey, I want you to go to my website if you have not done so in a while, HooserReason.com. We have a few new things on there that I think you would have some fun with. Number one, with our new partner, Lean, you can find the link on there using the promo code to get the 20% off by ordering Lean. But right below that, right on the home page, there is a new feature, and I want all of my listeners to print this off because we're going to do it together this year. I have made some predictions of what could potentially happen in the political realm for 2026. 250th birthday, economic policy, midterm elections, and we have put all of those onto a bingo card. Yeah, a political bingo card at 2026. I know you're excited about that. Now, here's the thing. It's not like a regular bingo where everybody's card's different, so we're going to see who wins. We're going to see if all of us win this year based on what's on this bingo card. So I have them in categories, and I'll give you a minute to go there at HooserReason.com, HOOSER Reason.com. We have the first row that is election-related. We have the second row that's foreign policy. We have the third row that's transparency. That, Epstein files, the fraud in Minnesota, some of the other issues. The next row, which is economic, and the final row at the bottom, which is random crazy stuff. And I have some pretty out there predictions that could probably not come true, and if they do, they would be really, really wild, like the U.S. government admitting the existence of extraterrestrials. I don't know. It could potentially happen, but we have the bingo card up. You can download it, put it on your fridge, and as things come true, you can highlight it or mark it or whatever you want to do. Let's do it together with the 2026 Voice of Reason bingo card of politics. You can download it right off the website as a PDF. You can print it off, and let's have some fun with the bingo card and see what the heck happens this year in 2026. Going to be a fun one. Go to, again, the website, HooserReason.com.
What's trending today?
All right, let's get into what's trending here, shall we? A lot of foreign policy happening this past weekend, as now the uprising, the revolt has happened to try and topple the crazy Ayatollah regime in Iran, as people have said, I'm done. I've had enough. Now, we said this on the weekend program, and I made the prediction that this was started by the Trump administration. Not by like us, like we've done before, as being the empirical powers or trying to influence other cultures or other nations and trying to weaponize them, but I mean, the actions that Donald Trump did lit a fire under the people of Iran to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we can make some changes. Maybe we can do something just a little bit different. And it started with Donald Trump dropping the bombs on the nuclear site in Iran, where they said, we're not going to do a long-term war. We're not going to do a long-term conflict. We're not going to invest in the military-industrial complex and have this long-term war like Donald Trump doesn't want to do because he's been the president of peace, like him or hate him. I mean, the guy's created more ceasefires and peace deals than any other president in modern American history, really. And you go, oh, that's not really true. Well, it is true. He's on like what, 7 or 8 or 9 of them. I mean, I think he's done a relatively good job of creating peace in most nations, including now India and other nations that are calling for him to have the Nobel Peace Prize because of what he's been able to do. And what he says is he wants world peace. Will we get there? I don't know that we'll necessarily get there. But it's a good dream to strive for. It's something that we can look towards and hopefully make happen in some fashion. But after the bombing of the nuclear site in Iran, and then shortly after that, the ceasefire between the nation of Israel and the nation of Iran, there hasn't been a lot of attacks on the nation of Israel from the drones and everything else that Iran was doing. And, while they were trying to taunt with the whole, Palestinian Gaza Strip issue that was going on, the people of Iran were making videos at that time and said, we have no problem with Israel. We had no problem with the Jewish community. We're not the radicalized Islamists. And I think people need to recognize there's a vast difference between the Muslim population and the radical Islamist population, two completely different sects. There's a large Muslim population in America, most of them extremely peaceful, wonderful, loving individuals. The radical Islamists are the ones that say, no, we're going to do things our way. We're going to change the culture to the way we want to, and you guys just have to kind of go along with it. And that's what we're seeing right now in Iran, where the Ayatollah is essentially dominating. They're the tyrants. They're the dictators. Now, for the left side of the aisle, I would like to really question that if you truly do think that Donald Trump is some type of fascist, is some type of Nazi, is some type of dictator, then I would strongly encourage you to go and check out what's happening in Iran. Because since they tried to do the uprising and overthrow that government regime, the internet's gone down, and we're not confirmed because we don't really know, but the rumor is that we've seen a slaughtering by the activation of missiles and drones in the army, and we've seen potentially the slaughter of anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 individuals over the weekend alone. And that's not okay. And we need to be very concerned about something like that. So Caroline Leavitt was talking to the press earlier today. They asked her, could we potentially see the U.S. involvement? Now, I want to preface this by saying most people on the right and on the left do not want to see major regime changes, long-term conflicts, and us getting militarily involved in the Middle East again. Not something that's really of the flavor for what we're really up against right now. However, if there's people finally saying enough's enough and we want to topple this regime, the question I ask you, that I want to hear from you by reaching out to the radio program on our website, on our social media, is how involved should we be in this issue?
What I will tell you is that what the Iranian regime is saying publicly is quite different from the messages they are sending to the United States and the Trump administration privately. President Trump, as for him, he has always expressed that diplomacy is the first option, always has been, always will be. However, he is unafraid to use the lethal force and might of the United States military if and when he deems that necessary. And nobody knows that better than the Iranian regime. The greatest leverage the regime had just several months ago was their nuclear program, which President Trump and the United States military totally obliterated through Operation Midnight Hammer. And so what President Trump will do next, only he knows, so the world will have to keep waiting and guessing, and we will let him decide. I'm certainly not going to broadcast any future options or decisions from the president on national television.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, we're not going to give away our military operations, but at the same time, could we potentially get involved in some fashion? Some are advocating for it. Here's the weird part, and here's what I don't get. We have the left side of the aisle that just months ago We're advocating for the whole free Palestine thing, that Israel's evil from the river to the sea, eliminate the Jews. We want the Palestinian people to have control of that entire area. The Jewish state is an evil Nazi regime that's running the world. And they were, I know, it sounds wild. It sounds like we're back in early 1900s era with that type of rhetoric, but apparently now that's kind of accepted norm speech in society today, and that kind of blows my mind. Really all across the board from both sides of the aisle, unfortunately, now that we're seeing with the infiltration of the conservative movement. But the protesters that were out there protesting for free Palestine because they want the Muslim population to have dominance in that area again, for some reason, they're not supporting these people that are trying to topple the regime there in Iran. They're not out there waving the new flag. They're not out there supporting these freedom fighters. They're actually advocating for the regime to stay in place, and that's just kind of weird. And there are some Iranians here in the United States that are starting to call them out.
I used to be a Democrat. I stood by you guys because you promised us liberty, justice, diversity. This is not diversity. Your silence is complicit. Democrats, wake the damn up. This is not okay. Iranian people right now, they're in prison. They're in prison. They're in complete digital blackout. How can you be silent?
Now, I have a theory on this, and unfortunately, we're starting to see that theory come true.
Andy's prediction.
But the way the narrative, and this is again a war on the mind, the war on the narrative, the war on the conversation, and how you perceive these types of issues that may not focus on a whole lot of foreign policy or geopolitics. We certainly don't like to on the program much here. We like to talk about economic policy. We like to talk about domestic issues. We like to focus on elections. But this is one where it's not going to go away, and we have a tough decision to make. Because do we get involved in another regime change that we don't want to do? We just took out Nicolas Maduro down in Venezuela, and we didn't do it for the regime change. We did it because he was a cartel member that was trafficking humans and drugs into the United States, and he had a $50 billion warrant out for his arrest, and we went and extracted him. That's it. The fact that he was the country's leader just happened to be kind of the icing on the cake. And now the troll. By the way, if you've not seen Donald Trump's Twitter page or Truth Social page, highly recommend. Very entertaining. He apparently has now posted a picture of him, and it looks like a Wikipedia page, and it says, it has Donald Trump, and it says President of Venezuela. Like, that's, again, like the guy or not, man, he is like next level troller, and I find that pretty entertaining. But back to Iran, right now we have a fork in the road. Do we support a regime change where the nation, the dictator that's been there for a long time, has kept their people oppressed severely? They've been puppets for Russia for a very long time. And do we help these freedom fighters actually be able to win their freedom back? The narrative against that idea has not been colonialism of the United States, of getting involved in foreign policy, of the America First agenda. That's not been the conversation so far. The conversation so far of against this movement has been, and you'll really enjoy this one, that this is a movement that's been started by the Jews and by Israel, is making it more favorable to Israel with the regime change. So if we get involved, we're being the puppets to Netanyahu and the Jews again. And we don't want to do that, right? That's the narrative against this.
The Reason with Andy Hooser.
Big government is broken. Every year, politicians fail to pass a budget as the deficit continues to grow. Every month, unelected bureaucrats pile on rules no one voted for, strangling our economy. And every day, DC's broken system gets in the way of the American dream. Washington isn't working, and the people pay the price. At Americans for Prosperity, we believe it's time to fix the system. Now, join the movement to make government work.
As you know, I'm always looking for a good snack, but it's hard to find good quality snacks without all the unhealthy additives. But now that problem is over. It's time to enjoy J&S Smoked Snacks. Real cuts of beef, real wood smoke, and real flavor that's crafted in small batches to keep every bag fresh. I promise you'll be addicted. And with numerous different flavors, you'll never get enough. This is not your average gas station jerky. It's J&S Smoked Snacks. Find them online at jssmokedsnacks.com and tell them I sent you.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? Our country's greatest breakthroughs were born from bold ideas and the ability to take one small step forward. At Americans for Prosperity, freedom and opportunity find their defenders. Because our country's next giant leap is just around the corner. Are you ready to step up?
Hey, the live show may be almost over today, but it doesn't have to be for you. As always, enjoy the Voice of Reason with our daily podcast by finding the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser on any of your favorite podcasting sites. Just find us, subscribe, have it automatically downloaded, and listen at your convenience whenever you want to bring some more reason into your day. And a lot of people are doing it. Also, you can always find the video of the show, along with articles, additional commentary, and maybe a few sarcastic remarks by following us on our social media. Stay up to date with everything going on with the show, including upcoming guests, breaking news stories, interesting articles, and maybe some memes. Help us in the ongoing battle with censorship and shadow banning from social media by following us on the social media at Hooser Reason on all of our social media sites. For all the social media links, podcast links, contact information, or just general information of the show, go to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can listen live every day, read our latest monthly blog, find our radio affiliate list, or even listen to our latest infomercials and special content. Plus, you can always reach out to the program by sending me a message on social media, emailing us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com, or sending an email through our website at HooserReason.com. Whether it's content on the show, whether it's a guest that you've liked or disliked, or whether you want to disagree with me, and disagreement's always appreciated. While you're there, make sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Each month, you'll get the latest update on the show, updates from the Hooser Media Network, and our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Finally, if you want to help support the show, become a member of our Patreon site and help us fight for the cause of truth, reason, and common sense every day, and get more of the same by becoming the ultimate Hoosierholic. Get additional interviews that sometimes we don't always get to air on the radio. Hear our special segments or even our infomercials before anyone else, and have a chance to chat with other great Hoosierholics from all over. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, you're not only helping the fight for conservative values, you're helping us get more content and information out through the Hooser Media Network. Find out more information online at HooserReason.com. Lastly, follow and support all of our partners with the show. The Voice of Reason has been growing more and more every year, and it's because of so many great partners helping us get the message out to you. From show partners to local radio affiliates in your area to streaming sites, podcasting sites, and more, we have so many supporters and listeners now than ever before, and we want to thank you. It's time to bring back common sense, and we do it right here every day with the Voice of Reason.
America's safe space for common sense. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
You all have refused to back down.
Yeah.
You all have decided that this resistance is not one that can be intimidated.
It won't be intimidated.
We are showing the nation that regardless of what the tyrant in the White House believes,
The tyrant in the White House.
We know that we are here to stay, and this is our country. We are going to make a life here, and we are going to stand up for our neighbors here in Minneapolis.
All right, that's Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. She continues to rally the crowds against the whole ICE thing. They're trying to run them out, be more violent against ICE, go ahead and block them. The ICE Watch organization, where they just follow them around, rail on their horns, and just try and warn everybody about them coming. Yeah, that's what they're up against, while Donald Trump continues to be the dictator. Now, I would think, if you think Donald Trump's a dictator, you might want to go check out places like, I don't know, Iran, where they're trying to topple that regime because they actually do have a dictator telling women that you're not allowed to have any rights, you're subhuman, you don't have any ability to show yourself at all whatsoever. And because we want to topple that, that's now a Jewish supremacy, Zionist type of idea. I didn't know that the Jews cared about Iran and how they lived. That's very strange to me. Or the fact that, you know, if anybody cared about women being able to have human rights and being able to go and get an education and being able to not wear the entire covered up garb and whatever, and people actually have rights to have different views and different opinions, that was somehow some type of Zionist movement. But that's the narrative that's been created. It blows my mind, man. Makes my brain hurt. Hey, I want to tell you about my friends over at Americans for Prosperity. We talked about the health movement earlier today as we look at reforms about the healthcare industry in Washington, D.C., the ending of the subsidies in Washington for the Obamacare and for the federal government funding the sixth of the economy that is the healthcare industry. We're looking at more private options, allowing the market to be able to balance itself out, giving you the best coverage available that's tailored to you as an individual for what you and your family actually need. That's what Americans for Prosperity is fighting for. They're fighting for it this year, and I want you to get the information as well by going to personaloption.com. Personaloption.com. You can learn about what we can fight for, how you can fight for it on the home front, at the statewide front, knocking on doors, making phone calls, and making sure that your elected officials are representing you the proper way with personaloption.com and our friends over at Americans for Prosperity. All right, speaking of foreign policy, I want to shift away from Iran for just a moment. There is now probably the most entertaining piece of legislation that I have ever seen out there right now in the Republican-led Congress, where you're gonna lose this one. Donald Trump could potentially be moving forward, and there's a meeting this week with Greenland and with Denmark about making Greenland the 51st state of the nation.
Say what?
And it could potentially be approved by Congress. Had to Fox News on this one, where Donald Trump could be getting it after a Republican lawmaker is advancing a bill that would allow the Trump administration to do all the necessary steps in order to make Greenland the 51st state of the nation. Now, do I think it's actually going to happen? No, more than likely not. I have said before, however, though, if it does become the 51st state or we end up taking over the oversight to Greenland, I will be the first one to move there, and I am calling on the Trump administration now to allow me to be the ambassador or the governor of Greenland right out of the gate because I cannot wait to get into a colder climate. This Kansas weather's killing me. I'm sorry. But Donald Trump says he's optimistic about what may happen.
But Greenland should make the deal because Greenland does not want to see Russia or China take over. They don't go there. It's very far away from Greenland. And Greenland, basically, their defense is 2 dog sleds. Do you know that? You know what their defense is? 2 dog sleds. In the meantime, you have Russian destroyers and submarines and China destroyers and submarines all over the place. We're not going to let that happen.
I find that hilarious. 2 dog sleds. That is the security of Greenland, apparently, right now, according to Donald Trump, with Denmark overseeing it. Now, remember, there's a lot of history between the United States and Denmark and Greenland. It's not just like all of a sudden there's a whim of Donald Trump, I want to take over Greenland. That's not the way it happened. We oversaw Greenland for a long time in the early 1900s until we gave the rights over to Denmark. And then in the 50s, we allowed our military to be somewhat of a protector of Greenland still, so we've been involved for a long time. Could we see it the 51st state and not allow the security of Greenland to be 2 dog sleds, according to Donald Trump? I'm telling you, man, I'm moving there. You know what the temperature is in Wichita, Kansas today on a Monday? January 12th. In the middle of winter, it's 60 degrees. Unacceptable. Thanks, AOC, and your global warming crap. I want my 40-degree highs in the summertime, our negative 20-degree weather in the wintertime. I want the cold climate. That's just the blood in me. I enjoy it, and hopefully we can see this happen. We'll see if it moves forward. Back at it again tomorrow for The Voice of Reason. Until then, be your own voice of reason. We'll see you back on the radio. Bye. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. You know, when I get off the air every day, the battle for me against limited government, censorship, and even unfactual content is far from over. That's why now I'm so happy to say that the Hooser Media Network is giving you more opportunity to catch the voice of reason, along with other great shows and podcasts. It's been a long time in the works, and now you can finally enjoy more great content, services, and topical shows. We're the safe space for alternative talk, information, and ideas that the mainstream media absolutely hates. From holistic and alternative medicine, discussions on religion and spirituality, pure entertainment shows, and of course yours truly with the voice of reason. Plus, we offer numerous media services, including helping you set up your own podcast. Become your own voice of reason and bring your expertise to any fun issue or topic. For information on all of our shows, links to podcasts, each show website or social media link, or to find out about everything we do to challenge the mainstream establishment, visit our website at HooserMedia.com. Again, that's HooserMedia.com, the future of media.